Hi, and welcome to another edition of the Digital Arts Show. I'm Jim Sirianni, your host with the most. I say that every time, it's my joke. But thank you so much for joining us today. This show is part of the Digital Arts Festival that is produced by Center Stage Theater of Santa Barbara, California. The Digital Arts Festival shows stream every night at 7 p.m., and you can find more on the Center Stage website, centerstagetheater.org, and click on the blog tab. Just click on the blog tab. That'll take you to the Digital Arts Festival, and you can learn all about our past people that we've interviewed and also see who is up for tonight's interview as well. And the purpose of the Digital Arts Festival is to create an outlet for artists of all kinds to share their work. And because of the shutdown and quarantine, many artists suddenly found themselves with no way to perform or to show their work. And unfortunately, in some cases, the work that these artists have created may never be seen by the public, and that's very unfortunate. But in an effort to find a workaround, if you will, the Digital Arts Festival was created by Center Stage Theater to help artists connect with their audiences in a virtual setting. And again, you can learn more on the Center Stage website, centerstagetheater.org, and click on the blog tab. Today's guest is Mauricio Vera. He is a Chilean ballet dancer from Chile, and Mauricio began his studies in 1998. In 2000, he was accepted at the Chilean Opera House School of Ballet of the Teatro Municipal de Santiago under the artistic direction of Patricio Gutierrez. He participated in several Chilean TV productions, and after moving to the United States, he trained at Steps on Broadway and School at Steps in New York City, and worked with Charleston Ballet Theater in South Carolina. And he danced with State Street Ballet here in Santa Barbara for 6 seasons. Mauricio has toured all over Germany, China, South America, as well as the European Union. And we're very excited to learn more about him and his career. And at this point, I'll just say, welcome to the show, Mauricio Vera. It's great to have you with us today.
No, thank you very much for that lovely introduction.
Well, you're welcome. So let me ask you then right off the bat, Mauricio, tell us a little bit about your background, your creative and artistic path that brought you to where you are today.
So as a kid, I always like to dance, move. I love the sports. So I might start with the folklore. I jump to the jazz, to the kind of Broadway styles, later to the ballet. The ballet started in the ballet school. I danced in the Santiago Ballet Company for 6 seasons. And after that, I moved to the US and I keep exploring all this wonderful country and try to learn from everything, you know. I started in New York, South Carolina, California, and now I'm back to New York. In this period, maybe as a dancer, but also I always like to choreograph what I can, or video choreograph, or always try to be busy and connect to the arts of movement.
Nice. And how long have you been in the States now?
I moved here January 1st of 2012, but 2011 I was here for 6 months of tourist visa. I was here the 6 months getting the auditions. That was a training. That was the way I get my first job, to be able to apply for an artistic visa and come. In that way, I could be able to work here inside the US. So yes.
In the United States. Awesome. That's very cool. And I understand that you have, well, as you mentioned, you've trained in many different backgrounds. You have a very diverse background, having trained in both your home country of Chile and in the US. Are there differences in your experiences in the different locations, Chile versus the US?
Well, yeah, basically, I train in the Ballet Nacional de Cuba as well. In the islands, the famous island, they have a very strong training. Yes, so every country have basically more influence of Baganova training, or in the US we have a little bit a strong influence of Balanchine technique. So the American Ballet Theater also have their own curriculums. On some points, what happened in the US is like we have some mixture of cultures that technique also can be more mixed at the schools. A little bit of Chaguet, a little bit of French, a little bit Baganova, some of Cuban technique as well. So yes, every country is completely different training, as my view, but the base is Baganova, Russian.
So the basic ballet is there in the training, but each country just has a little bit more of a different approach.
Yeah, the port de bras, the technique, the way to jump in the pirouette, the way to take a chaîné. Every movement have what I see. Not every movement. So the classes, the training classes have different influences depending the location. Basically, you know, countries
Right.
closer to Russia have more influence to Russia, and Cuban school, they create their own style. Basically, they have their own curriculum. They teach training, and they start with the Russian technique, Baganova, but they create their own. You know, the same way Socchetti create their own. The same way, kind of the French have their own too, and the Royal Ballet they have their own. So there is styles.
Yeah, each country has their own style that they and how they approach ballet. And again, my guest today on the Digital Arts Show is Mauricio Vera, and he is a ballet dancer from Chile. And so one of the other questions I have for you, Mauricio, is you have been both a dancer and a choreographer. Tell us how your creative process differs in those two roles.
So I always, as a very young dancer, I received the opportunity to choreograph from 15 years old. So my brain, I always enjoy to see the creation of other choreographers, and at some point create my own. And my brain as a dancer, you know, sometimes the choreographer, we get the same, sometimes my idea came from other way, but my whole career was like that. So basically I almost was waiting for the chance to be able to put these ones in a body and these movements. So I know this is a transition, you know, because dance, I believe, and right now I'm trying to give more focuses on dance, because I'm not gonna be able to dance forever. So this is kind of what I miss also right now. But I love to create, maybe more than teach, and but I also like to collaborate with other artists, and now I love the connection with the digital videos, with the choreography, you know. So at some points my dream was study film and be audiovisual. I never did, but at some points right now I have the chance in my house. I can just create a movie if I want with a cell phone, because it's what has happened right now. Everything, the art is getting connected with the digital so strongly, right?
Right. So I understand that you have created something for the festival. I guess you've provided a video of a project you worked on with State Street Ballet here in Santa Barbara. Can you tell us a little bit about that project?
Yeah. So in my country, there's been a very main theater, and recently there was a city who have a wealthy economy, so they decide to create their own theater, so people don't have to travel from one city to another. So this mayor was a very good. He liked the art. This is a 5 years theater, and I started pushing, proposing, and I believe we did like 6 proposals until sometime we came up with one that could be close to very good idea to work for them, you know. And it was a huge budget, because an international gala demands hotel, working visas, airplanes, a lot of money. So of course it was the bigger approval budget I have get in my life, and I was so happy, and with my ex-couple, and that time we worked very hard, and and it was an international gala mixed from different cultures, and was made for me, as a 30 years old dancer. It was completely different program than from somebody from different age. So as my view, I have to program what I believe was in my age, in my feedback. So I buy a dancer from Trocadero because I want the people laugh. I buy a dancer from New York City Ballet who also did a Broadway piece. And I want to connect. I told my ex-director Ronnie Gustafsson, so I would love to go and dance. And in my country, I haven't danced in many years, so I say I'm not a principal star, but maybe I can dance with the company. And he liked the idea and turned out everything very well. And I have and so when I can see there's going to be a enriching experience for me, for my country, as the Fear International Gala. That theaters, I have 2 guys recording the whole week, basically. But I forgot to do the interviews because I was so busy dancing and directing and choreographing, So after the gala's done, I have to basically meet with each one of them to get the interviews, or ask them to send me the interviews by video. So it was 2 years documentary.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. And again, my guest on today's show is Mauricio Vera, and he is from Chile, and a ballet dancer from Chile, and he's now in New York, and he's also performed here in Santa Barbara. And Mauricio, I understand you are sheltering, of course, in New York, where the numbers of cases are much higher than here in Santa Barbara. How have you been impacted by the stay-at-home order there in New York?
Yeah. So first, I want to say that I feel like a California person. I feel like a Santa Barbara is my home too. So because I have in the second place, I have lived longer. So my English and my culture, I believe, a Californian guy in New York. Every time I say that, I'm a Chilean Californian. Yes, so New York is my week number 9 because I got the flu or I got the virus. I'm not sure yet because I never can test it. And the first week of March. So I isolate myself since March 1st, first week of March 10th, I believe so. So it's my 9th week. I believe I have like a bipolar energy because I by myself. And week 4 was very hard, but now I'm getting much better dancing, creating, but try to keep my brain busy. And yeah, so the streets are very, I believe New York has so much energy, so it's very hard to stop. People still going out, everybody have dogs. Everybody have to take out the dogs. We have elevators. At some point, there's some connections. And now there's a little bit of sun. The people go to the Hudson River. So yes, I'm a little bit disconnected because of the TV. I don't know much the news, but I know my family call me all the time, very, very scared about what is happening.
Right.
It's sad. Yeah, it's sad. Yeah.
Wow. So have you pretty much been inside all this time, or have you been able to go out a little bit for air or something?
So I go to the roof. I dance in the roof sometimes. I'm trying to make a dance piece that really. So when I go out every 2 or 3 weeks when I need food, when I run out of food, basically. That's what I do with full of gloves, mask, and disinfectors, and yeah.
Sanitizer.
Sanitizer, yes. And there is big lines at the supermarket. So that's kind of a little bit hard, but I try to go outside Manhattan, so there's not much lines. Brooklyn.
And which borough are you in? Where do you live?
I live in Tribeca.
Oh, okay, Tribeca. Nice.
And it's very nice, but there's also big lines in every supermarket, basically. So we try to purchase groceries in pharmacies that have less line, or Walmart or Walgreens, those styles that they have less people in line.
Right, right. Oh my gosh. Well, but you're muddling through somehow, though, right? Of
No,
course,
no.
trying to get
Yes,
through it.
no. As I
Yeah.
say, I believe I started creating a dance piece, and I kind of accepted. At some point, kind of accepted. After the 4 week, there was kind of my struggling. I kind of accepted, and I now enjoy it, and I'm having
Yeah.
fun. I'm having a lot of fun,
So,
and
oh, good. So you're getting through it then. That's good.
yeah.
That's good. Um, and while you're in quarantine, are you working on anything now during the quarantine? Has this changed your creative process at all?
Yeah, it has changed completely. So I was the person who get charged by people, that I believe was hard, but I realized that do FaceTime really make me happy. I start hating texting. So one day I just record myself and I say, what about if I invite you to do a piece together? I don't know the point. There's at 7 p.m. everybody will still go out and clap for the health worker.
Right.
And I know in many places was only one day, but in New York it's been forever since the March, since the lockdown. Is like and this is the most social moment of the day. So I believe it's very powerful thing to use for a piece. So I've been record the clapping of the people, how the animals join the moment of the 7 p.m. So I'm trying to create a piece with other choreographers around the world in different countries that we're doing a Zoom meeting, and I'm the dancer, and they are giving me instructions. So that's because of quarantine is that I'm allowed to do that. So basically, I'm a grateful quarantine because they cannot do much then direct
Right.
me.
Yeah. And I've spoken with a lot of choreographers and dancers during this whole digital arts festival that we're doing with Center Stage, and there have been challenges. I know other dancers have had challenges trying to do rehearsals on Zoom, and because of buffering or because of trying to make sure everything's together. Do you find do you have some challenges while you're doing the dancing on Zoom or other video conferencing?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of challenges, especially for the people who don't feel comfortable with the image, with the digital. A
You,
director who might be is like me by him own, he can be a little bit scared or try things, especially in the teaching. Teaching by image, by screen is a little bit hard, but everybody's trying to do. Everybody is giving their best, so that's very nice.
and trying to
So
work through it
yeah,
again. Nice. And then, what are you looking forward to most once life starts to get back to normal? What's the one thing or one or two things that you're looking forward to the most once the quarantine ends?
dance and take class and be able to be in the theater in a
Yeah,
real
in a
connect
real
with
theater.
people. Yeah, I
Right.
think so. Yeah, I think I'm thinking about all these ideas about knowing the news today that Broadway is gonna be canceled until September, the Met until October. So it's a lot of time now to think about it.
Wow.
Uh, so I'm thinking about how we can be survive digital until that way, and I'm thinking all these options. I hope I have already down. So I don't know if it should say yet, but but this is I believe as a younger no as a younger artist, I feel the responsibility to help other other directors or institutions that are not that connected with the technology like my generation. So I'm
Right.
trying to do something for that and for the performing arts.
Right. So trying to create something that's specific for a digital platform.
Right.
Nice.
Oh,
Very.
and basically try to show up all my experience. As I say, I'm creating with choreographer for different places, and how we calendarize, how we who give the same idea, who give the same instruction, how we choose in a music, where we're going to show the material, basically.
Right.
All these
Right.
things. It's like there's
Yeah.
a lot of it's a lot to it's a different way to could we get paid? Could we not? All those
Right.
things.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts that you have to figure out, so to speak, with trying to put something together digitally that's normally meant to be seen live. There's a lot that you have to figure out there. Well,
Right.
Mauricio, I wish we could talk more. We're just about out of time. But before we go, do you have any websites or social media handles that you want to give out?
Yeah, so I'm working in my website right now. I have to know.
Okay.
But my Instagram, I believe, is the most up-to-date one. It's Mauricio Vera, my name and last name. And also I have a fans page with Mauricio Vera Dancer in Facebook. Both are...
So on Instagram, it's your name, Mauricio Vera?
Mauricio Vera.
And then the one on Facebook is
Mauricio Vera Dancer.
Facebook is Mauricio Vera Dancer. So on Instagram, it's Mauricio Vera, and that's MauricioVera, Mauricio Vera on Instagram. And then on Facebook, Mauricio Vera Dancer, and that's all one word on Facebook?
Mauricio, yeah. It can be together separate. Will show up, yes.
It'll show up either way on Facebook. Yeah. Mauricio Vera Dancer on Facebook and Mauricio Vera on Instagram. You can find him there. And also, if you'd like to learn more about Center Stage Theater, you can log on to their website, centerstagetheater.org. Again, that's centerstagetheater.org. And if you're so inclined, if you're in a position, if you'd like to help them out with donations, they would certainly appreciate that. And I know it's a hard time for everybody, but if you are in a position to help them, you can do that online as well, centerstagetheater.org. And just click on the blog tab, and that'll take you to the Digital Arts Festival, and you can check out Mauricio and his work, and we'll have other information about him on the blog as well as the interview, and you can check that out on the Digital Arts Festival page on the blog there. And again, just go to centerstagetheater.org and click on the blog tab. And if you want to know what I'm up to, if you are so inclined, you can check me out on Facebook as well, and on Instagram, on all social media as Jim on the Air. And again, that's Jim on the Air on both Facebook and Instagram. And my podcast available on Spotify as well, Jim on the Air as well. And Mauricio, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us, and continued success with all the dancing.
No, thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me. And yeah, I love Santa Barbara, California. Just everybody who's there. I used to teach a lot of Latin class, so I have a lot of fun in Santa Barbara.
Oh, fabulous. Well, we'll have to have you back in Santa Barbara soon. When all of this ends, we'll have to have you back in Santa Barbara.
I will love to back, yes.
That'd be great. And again, it's Mauricio Vera. You can find him on Instagram and Facebook. Mauricio Vera on Instagram and Mauricio Vera Dancer on Facebook. And I just want to say thank you to everybody for joining us on the Digital Arts Festival show. And thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.